This is Cousin Jack. This land is barren and broken, scarred like the face of the moon. Our tongue no longer spoken, the towns all around face ruin. Will there be work in New Brunswick, or will I find gold in the Cape? If I tunnel way down to Australia, how will I ever escape? Come on. Where there's a mine or a hole in the ground, that's where I'm headed for, that's where I'm bound. Look for me under the load or inside the bay. Where the copper of heavens to stay low, when John Wesley gave us the voice. Could Joseph once come to St. Michael's Mount, 2,000 years past in a dream, and you're working away in the darkness, deep in the heart of where there's a mine, come on. Where there's a mine or a hole in the ground, that's where I'm headed for, that's where I'm bound. Look for me under the load or inside the bay. Where the copper, the clay, where the arsenic and tin, running your blood, they get Canada, America, South Africa, Australia. Where there's a mine or a hole in the ground, I'm leaving the county. Must I leave my town? Come on, red roof, Lawson, Wadebridge, Aston, Port Isaac. Remember us, remember our names, remember the white cross on the black flag. Yeah. And the waves crash to the shoreline. I dream of a bridge across the Tamar. It opens us up to the east. In my dreams. I see the English living in our houses. I see the Spanish fishing in our sea. Where there's a mine or a hole in the ground, that's where I'm headed for, that's where I'm bound. Look for me under the load or inside the vein. Where the copper and the clay, where the arsenic and tin run in your blood, they get under your skin. I'm leaving the county behind, and I'm not coming back. So follow me down, cousin Jack. Come on, follow me down, cousin Jack. Yeah, follow me down.
Good morning, Minecraft. We're trying something a little different today. I am going to be recording and then uploading rather than streaming live because, well, the network congestion was just too awful. I was getting a 20% frame drop rate through the opening credits, and you can't stream Minecraft at a 20% frame drop rate. So I'm going to run this as if I were streaming. So content warning, I'm a cantankerous old fart who cusses and makes weed references and dick jokes and spouts off all sorts of left-wing political opinions. I'm queer, so I'm talking about my lived experience, so there ain't no damn warnings for that. Let's see. Think that out about. I'm just generally inappropriate for all audiences. I mean, come on. If you watch past this point, you know what you're getting into, and if you don't, that's not my problem. So, episode 63, Immersive Geology Beta 0.7 Part 2. Stream, well, VOD number 186 anyway. We'll figure it out. Let's go look at the game here and talk about the game. Came here to talk about a game. So, bunch of changes in the recent week. Within the last week, it has been a week. It's been a hell of a week as usual. I've got 4 weeks left here in Tennessee, and then we are out of here. I am leaving the county, and I'm not coming back. Done with this place. So, got a tool rack put up. That's from Workshop for Handsome Adventurer, and lets me hang up my old hammers and pair of shears, and generally, give the workshop a little more of a look to it and contribute to the aesthetic. I did it in birch to match the walls here. You've seen all this before. But some changes over here. This is the wall of ingots. I now have 18 metals. Just walk in. There is stainless steel. Just got stainless steel. I am working toward hastelloy. Hastelloy requires molybdenum, and I am getting molybdenum the low power way, which requires filtering an awful lot of hematite, and we'll get to that in a minute. You've seen this before. There is a wire running up the side now. I brought MV down and put the metal press on an MV line from the diesel generator and took it off of the water wheel. The water wheel isn't really doing anything anymore. The LV accumulator is still there, but nothing's tapped into it. So I can now run the metal press pretty much continuously because I've got an MV feed from the power farm upstairs. We'll get to looking at that in a minute. I'm going to go through this sort of bottom up here. So yeah, a number of ingots. I did not put hot graphite up on the wall because it's not a metal. Yeah, it's not really an ingot. It's a transitionary state between graphite dust and graphite electrodes. So we'll leave it off. Chromium here, which was necessary to reaching stainless steel. Got a bunch of stuff in processing, and let's go up to the processing floor and have a look because it has changed a bit. I took out this bit of wall so I could get at the furnace here. It's currently running cobalt oxide. Let's come around. There's the pelletizer farm. We'll get a better look at it in a minute. Oh, hey, gravity separator with the hazard paint job on it now, and now has the hazard skin. Nicely industrial. I kind of dig it. I'd like to see the same skin for all the rest of the equipment. Being able to put this particular skin on the ball mill and especially on the crusher. Oh my God. The crusher desperately needs the hazard skin, let's face it. The thing is a hazard. Yet another reason to have my crushers up near the ceiling where I can't accidentally step in them. Lordy. Also known as the player shredder. This one here, okay, running just fine. About out of cobalt, though. Let's see if I got anything pelletized I can throw in. No, I don't. What am I doing on oxides? Oh, goody. I've got some oxide. Oh, I got some cobalt. Cobalt oxide. That gets me... Anything that's an oxide is going to the pelletizer, by the way. That's just kind of a general rule. Once you hit an oxide, it's going to get pelletized and sent off to be blast furnace. That gets me a chance to show off the pelletizer because the pelletizer farm is pretty cool. I got 4 of them, and I got a conveyor belt system here. Let's, oh, helps if I have this on. I'm going to switch out for the Faraday. I normally keep the Faraday suit on for tolerably obvious reasons. Running around in here with all this HV wiring swagged all over the place to run the pelletizers. And Q Powerhouse. You know the tune. If you've ever seen a Warner Brothers cartoon, you've probably heard it. Composition originally titled Powerhouse by a jazz quintet back in the early 40s, I think. I think they started using it in Warner Brothers in 46. So yeah, we get to see the distributor in action, splitting out all this stuff so that the pelletizers get a nice steady feed and don't get overloaded. They get fed at a rate that they can handle. We'll go watch the animation for a minute as the copper oxide is being turned into pellets for the furnace. Zoom. I didn't leave my backpack on. Okay. Make sure I didn't leave the magnet in my backpack on. It gets annoying. All right, what other oxides have I got? I've got more copper. Let's go on and finish off the copper. iron oxide. The only use of iron oxide is to be pelletized. Only recipe available for it. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'm going to try and pick up from where I left off. Okay, so we have the pelletizers going here. Sorry about the little glitch there. Had an issue with overheating. Let's see, this is all oxide that I was bringing over to hook into here when I had the overheat. I have set up a fan behind me, a box fan. Hopefully it's not making too much noise. And hopefully I can use a noise cancellation algorithm in my pre-processing software to get rid of it. I do run a couple of sound filters normally on these recordings before I put them up. The VODs that come over from Twitch, of course, are raw footage that has not been processed. It just comes over straight as it did, as it went out live. Okay, we got not much working here. Oh, pyrite slag. I need to check for pyrite slag. And I have a little bit. Let's go on and huck it on in. Oh, yay, enough to actually put 4 up in the chest. Amazing. All right, the pyrite slag is where I'm going to be trying to get the molybdenum for the Hastalloy. So yeah, we were looking at this. Previous VOD already dealt with the ball mill and the crushers and the pellet and so forth, so that's not new. The HV here is new, and the pelletizer farm and so forth. 2 new blast furnaces here. One which is currently running vanadinite. I gotta not be the only one who does that. Anyway, gonna be running that for a while. It's a very slow cook to get vanadinite slag, which then gets taken over to the ball mill, turned into vanadinite slag powder, at which point the processing chain ends because the mod hasn't gone that far yet. The rest of the processing chain isn't in the mod yet. Got to be patient with these things. But I'm trying to get as much processing done as I can. I've been fairly busy. I mean, we saw the wall of ingots earlier, and if I go to powders here, there's a nice assortment of stuff happening. The pyrite slag powder is what I'm seriously after right now, which is coming in there. Good. Ball mill making a bit more. This one here is currently cooking down iron from iron oxide pellets, and it's got still some work to do. Good. Check these. Make sure that they are going. That one has finished what it was cooking, and I don't think I have anything else to put into it right now. Yeah, 2 reverb furnaces back to back. It makes the piping up top simpler for collecting the sulfur dioxide off the top of the stacks. Also means I've got MV lines here that I can swing down and run all these pumps. These 4 pumps, as you can see, are each feeding a gravity separator. I keep wanting to call it an ore washer. Each one has its own pump in order to not slow it down at any point. It is possible to share pumps across gravity separators. I don't recommend it. You'll end up overflowing your separator for lack of water input. Oh, hey, we have seen this before. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da, bum, 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 ba-da-da-da-da-da. And we were looking for powders. P-O-W. There we go. Oh, hey, got almost 2 stacks. Brilliant. By the time we got over here, we'll throw this in here. And we're going to take this pyrite slag powder and put it through these gravity separators. There it goes. We can see water starting to drip. Get a little closer so that I can see the graphics a little better. There we go. Once again, the distributor is here to prevent overloading of the machinery. 4 to 1 seems to be about the right ratio here. Works for the pelletizers and works for the gravity separators anyway. You know, if I load up that chest, these will sit and cook for as long as necessary and never have an overloading problem where I get ore piling up and floating at the top and despawning before it can get into the machine. I hate it when that happens. Let's see, we got any more? 32. There's a half a stack. Most of this is waiting to go to the chemical reactor. Sphalerite powder for sphalerite powder needs to go to the pelletizer and get made into zinc. Okay, we'll get that done in just a minute. Let's go hook that into there. The goal here is to try and get molybdenum out of it. Now, I have indeed succeeded in getting 10 molybdenum oxide, which will get me 10 ingots of molybdenum. Oh, there's another one coming in. Yay. If you sort enough pyrite, you will eventually get the molybdenum that you are after. And then that sphalerite. The sphalerite here needs to also... My heat is still ramping up intensely. I don't know what's going to happen here. I'm just going to keep going and see if I can get through a little more. Tachometer is not yet in the danger zone, but it wasn't until the shutdown. So it sat and went, yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe, yeah, maybe. And then went, oh, gotcha. I'm like, God damn it. Watching the tachometer, and then suddenly just boop, fan stopped and down it went. Oh. Okay, good news. The molybdenum oxide is going on through. Vanadium oxide, I am not putting in. I have a little bit of it. Don't have the recipe yet. The chain isn't there. Can't make vanadium ingots yet. Can't break down some of the stuff. It's on the way. Be patient. Okay, that got that in there. And then the rest of this is just going to be running for the rest of the day. Let's, oops. Sphalerite powder. Let's go on and grab the rest of it. And go on and get it in here. There we are. Load up the pelletizer. Yeah, I can load the pelletizer up with a full double chest, and it'll just sit there and run happily all day. The distributor keeps the input at a rate that does not overload the throughput. Took some experimentation to get it figured out. Okay, this is down to there. Do we have any more slag? I ought to. Let's see, I've got this and some more of that and this. Okay, goody. We will just drop all of that into there and let it sort itself out. Okay, let's see. The ultimate goal here right now, my next goal is to make hastelloy, which is needed for the chemical reactor. To make hastelloy, I need to go to the arc furnace with nickel, chromium, iron, tungsten, and molybdenum. And molybdenum is the one that I am after right now. Now, if I recall correctly, this furnace had run out of stuff to do. Brilliant, fine. I'm cool with that. We go here and Pell, and I have sphalerite, molybdenum. Here are some molybdenum pellets. Oh, here's another one coming in. Let's just wait a minute, because I threw in something like 11. Yes, the molybdenum goes to 11. We'll find out shortly if I'm able to patch this all together. I hope I'm able to patch this together. OpenShot didn't seem to want to import the one file. We'll see what happens. And it didn't get written the proper close. You know, it may not. I really hope this works. Well, we only got the one more. I don't know where the rest went. Find out. In the meantime, let's get this into here. There we go. And what other pellets do I have that I could load in here? I've got a whole bunch of cobalt. Let's just load cobalt here. I should not do that. I'm willing to bet the whistling is being really annoying on the recording. Sorry about that. All right. Molybdenum. Okay, I have succeeded in making molybdenum. We'll take the first ingot. I'm going to go pop it onto the wall here. I'm going to have to add more item frames soon, and that makes me actually very happy that I'm going to need to add more item frames. I am cool with that. Don't need to be in the workshop area. Okay, that's doing the molybdenum and then going over to making cobalt. I got stuff happening up here. Yeah, leave it alone. Okay, I need more pyrite slag put through the gravity separator, not a gravity compensator. We are not aboard the Enterprise. Okay, slag. Pyrite slag powder. There's this much, almost 3 stacks. We will drop that in. Oops, not the geologist pick. Drop that in. You see it changing color and, for that matter, changing count, going from one pyrite slag to multiple various oxides. Sometimes the distributor favors one slot over another. It's not really an even split. It's a random number generator, and sometimes it leans one way or the other. That's just the way it is. But that gets 3 more stacks of pyrite slag through here. And pyrite slag powder. Well, if you take it to the chemical reactor, it's an osmium precursor like everything else. But if you take it to the gravity separator, you get iron oxide and an 8% chance of molybdenum oxide, which is a much easier way to get a bit of molybdenum than processing it, which requires, if I recall correctly, a chemical reactor. So, yeah, you need molybdenum to get molybdenum. It's not a catch-22. There is a way to get it. You just have to filter a lot of slag powder. That's okay. I got pyrite slag processing. Right now I got a bunch of chalcos. I got a bunch of this. Let's go on and put this through. Chalcocite slag powder and chalcopyrite slag powder and let's see, cobaltite. Chalcocite will get me copper oxide and a chance at nickel. Chalcopyrite gets me iron oxide and a chance at copper compound, which goes through the reverb furnace and becomes copper oxide. Cobaltite gets me, well, I mean, it's an osmium precursor like everything, but it can also get me cobalt oxide and sand. Chance of sand, which means I can then have a bit of sand in case I need more glass or something. All right, so let's put in the cobaltite as well. The molybdenite slag powder, I believe, has to go through... Yeah, it has to go through the chemical reactor. There is no... With ammonia, in order to get cloudy molybdenite amide, which we then centrifuge for molybdenum compound dust and cloudy molybdenum waste complex. The compound dust gets rotary kilned into our old friend molybdenum oxide. The waste complex probably ends up in a tank somewhere. Yeah, it ends up in a tank somewhere. There's nothing to do. You can't do anything with it. Bummers. Vanadinite slag powder becomes vanadium oxide and lead oxide, but it can't do anything with the vanadium oxide. It won't pelletize yet. Let's get this stuff in here. Oops, damn it. Okay, get all that in there. Let it start running. Back over here. I'm figuring the first chemical reactor to go kind of in this area. I haven't started cleaning it out yet. I'm still working on building the components. Let's see. We've got stuff pelletizing and stuff happening, and I need to see of the oxides. Here is the molybdenum. I've got, at this point, a fair amount more of iron, and let's go on and pull that out, and then we'll top up with copper. And go over to our friend the pelletizer, and we'll roll this all in behind the sphalerite. There we go. And let that run. There's a lot of let that run. But you know this already if you've watched any of this series. We'll see how this goes. Let's. All right, right. I could have just walked straight across. Dingy. I am sometimes a small boat. This mansion is put together oddly, like really weirdly. Like I have to cut through a bedroom here to get to over here, which is weird. Okay, let's look at garden cloches first. Garden cloches I've got running. Most of them are running potatoes. A few are running hemp. Let's see. The industrial hemp seed is at 1195, 1194. Doesn't seem to be doing too bad. Potato count. I miss my potatoes, dang it. 3,700. That's running a little high still. I'm going to bump one more of these back over from potatoes to hemp, because what I had done is bumped some of them from hemp to potatoes in order to get caught up. I was lagging on my ethanol production. Let's see, that's a hemp, that's a potato. So we take the potato out and we put in the hemp seed, and there we go. It takes care of that. And we will leave it for a little while to see how it rebalances. There's a single fluid pipe and a single conveyor belt, and all these packed in nice and tight and cranking out the precursors for the fuel. Our friend the arc furnace is back up and has been making aluminum and stainless steel. The arc furnace is tied directly over to the diesel generator, and so it's getting high voltage directly from the source. Directly maybe a little bit in quotes because of the large number of relays involved, but hey, it looks cool, you know, swagging all those cables around, bringing them around around the horn like that. And then, yeah, HV accumulators, transformers, MV accumulators, a couple of direct feeds off the relays, coming over here, and one going over there to feed the refinery. We'll see that in more detail in a second. And then one from the center one that goes down, and that goes to the pelletizers, which are directly below us. And that is a charging station for the jetpack, which I really ought to drop it into. It's down to half charge. Let's get that fed. Still have the windmills up here. They're probably causing me some lag, and I should probably get rid of them, but they look cool. And I don't want to dump them. I just don't want to. Over here, the top of the reverberatory furnaces, with everything going over to this tank of sulfur dioxide, and with all that I have done, it's only about half full. That's quite of a thing here. My heat level is looking much more comfortable with the new fan. I hope it's not causing a problem with noise. We will see what happens when I go to OpenShot and try to assemble this mess. Okay, the refinery we've seen before. It is doing much better. Keeping full of potatoes and hemp seeds and full of ethanol and plant oil, and thus full of biodiesel, even with the generator continuously running. I have enough biodiesel, I could easily put in another generator, and I am probably going to in order to run the chemical reactors, because, I mean, we know I'm already going to have to build at least 2 just here. And then there's going to start being, well, that's going to be another thing. That's going to be running off the steam turbine, and we'll see how that works. Planning on building a much bigger factory at some point. Okay, so we've gotten through the whole place, I think. I think that covers everything as far as where the updates are. Yeah, there is still an MV line swinging in here. The refinery is still running off of MV because it doesn't need HV. The fermenter and squeezer, however, are running on HV, and they are getting a direct tap off the generator. If you notice, the relay that feeds them connects there and then drops right down onto the generator. Not mucking around here. We're going to keep those fed. All right, let's bounce down to here. Oh, yes, there is an in-portal room, and I've got a nether gate well away from the facility. Even running in peaceful mode, there's a best practice involved. And yeah, I put my nether gates well away from my base in case anything comes through from the other side. I also tend to put up containment buildings around them with 2 doors and a bit of an airlock. So again, if something comes through, it can't get out, and I can at least, deal with it in a controlled space. Lessons learned in survival mode with no cheats. Yeah, my very first game of Minecraft was survival, no cheats. Play it the way it lies, figure out how this works, and yeah, I got in the habit from there of putting containment buildings around my nether portals. This is tapping along nicely on cobalt. Oops. How are we doing here? We're 5 molybdenum. I know there's more in the system somewhere. Sphalerite and copper and cobalt. Well, if we're bringing in sphalerite, then we haven't gotten to the next supply of molybdenum that I put in the pelletizer yet. Pardon me going around and obsessively checking the machinery, but that's basically where it is right now. Do I have slag to put in yet? Probably. Accumulates fairly quickly. I want to do the pyrite slag first because that's what I'm trying to sort out right now. And then we'll throw in the molybdenite slag and the vanadinite. Throw them in behind that. Reorganize. So that I get the pyrite out first, hopefully. What are we doing over here? We are Okay, we've got the moly. It's gone through. The molybdenum has gone through. Let us bounce over here and PEL. Let's see. Oh, come on. I know it's in there. Is that taking... That's a good question. I need to check something here. Where's my oxide? No, it should be a 1-for-1. Where is my molybdenum going? Please don't tell me I've got... Oh, shit. I've got stuff falling through. Why do I have stuff falling through? Should not have stuff falling through. Oh, shit. Come on. Come on. Why do I have all that stuff here? And why can't I pick it up? There we go. It picked up. It picked up. What the hell? Ah, that was all the damn molybdenum. Why was the damn molybdenum? Oh, I've got a feed problem here. Why did I have stuff? Okay, I've got one here that's overloading. That one's got only 10. That one's fully loaded. This one's not getting loaded. And the rest of them are. Why is it ignoring this one? All right. Well, what I'm going to do here, this is sitting at 16 iron oxide. I'm going to throw in these manually, and they fall through. Why are they falling through? Shit, I must be at capacity then. It's weird. Something's weird is going on here. I'm not sure what, but I'm going to hold this stuff for a few minutes and wait for this current run. That needs to get filled in. Where's my dark oak? Dark oak, dark oak, dark oak, dark oak, dark oak planks. And we'll drop the dark oak in, and let's go on and fill that. But falling into there. Erg. Yeah, this one's overloading. That's really very messed up. All right, I'm gonna pull the last of that. No. Pull the last of that. Let these clear out. Because that's just ridiculous. Something's not right here. I wonder if it's a difference in time here. Let me look at processing time. Sphalerite powder is 30 seconds. Okay. Oxide. Iron oxide is also 30 seconds. It's all 30 seconds. It's all the same. Okay. So I don't know. Not sure what the problem is here. I'll leave it alone. Let it finish out the current pans. All right, well, so much for not overloading. I may have to go to an 8x farm here. Well, something to look forward to for the factory. Yeah, I'm already planning a much bigger factory. If I'm going to build a steam turbine, I'm going to build enough machinery to put it to use. So yeah, 8 palletizers running on HV, probably not even gonna scratch the surface of that thing's output. Whew, I was looking at the stats on it, and it is fierce. Now, right now, the only source of steam is the geothermal system. That's going to be a whole thing getting that set up. I figure I'll start with the power systems and get the infrastructure laid in, and then figure out how I'm going to build the factory. We'll put up a building around it or something. Put up the building as I go. All right, that one has finished. The other 3 are still running. All right, my initial observation that number 2 is being ignored by the distributors seems to have held water. Number 2 has stopped, has run out of work to do, while the rest are still chugging. I'm going to try to put this molybdenum in here. Okay, make sure none of it's falling through. All right. We're going to get the molybdenum oxide done here. It does give us a nice look at the animation. Let's see. Okay, copper oxide. And I'm just going to put the whole thing in, because I should be able to put the whole thing in. You put the whole thing in, you take the whole thing out, you put the whole thing in, and you roll it all about. It has been one of those mornings. At this point, I am so frustrated. I'm just short of screaming, and that thing's not working out. I'm really trying to make this work. The good news is my heat seems to be holding at a decent level with the new fan put up, and unfortunately, I'm having to leave the door open in order to get air circulation, which, I've got a visitor or two, but we'll see how it goes. This is working, at least. I finally got this thing running. Let's see if we can get this molybdenum done. Come on, come on. All right. That's at this point just doing copper. I don't need to be watching that. I need to be over here. And where is GEL? There we go. There's the molybdenum that I was after. And we'll go on and drop that in place of the cobalt. Put the cobalt up here so it goes back on through. Get the molybdenum done, at which point I should be able to go make Hastelloy finally. So let's put me up at the arc furnace, and I'll just figure out what to do with all this oxide later. huck it into the inventory system and deal with it later. Oh, jetpack is ready to pick up. Yay. Jetpack picked up. Around to the front, and I'm going to pause it here and see about assembly and also what else is going on.